Welcome back to another Bit Legend video, fellas. This is a friendly reminder that this is a short guild boss week. Make sure that you and all of your guildies are doing everything you can to get a couple clears in before everything resets. But taking a look, so I have battled Guild Boss 3. This is the damage I did the first time, so I did 316. Here we are, Guild Boss 3. We just unlocked it. We got a bunch of trash loot from both bosses. We got a legendary and a mythic from Guild Boss 1, a legendary from Guild Boss 2. And I believe all of that is tier 8. So after the update, it will be tier 9, but there's no reason to wait because the guild bosses are going to start resetting at the same time as the weekly updates and the same time as the events as far as like PvP, GVG, all that kind of stuff. So let's jump on in here. Now, if you remember, this guy attacks the furthest. In every video up until now, I have used the Azure to tank the final slot. But now, since my total stats have gone up to like 3.4 thousand TS, now full armor mech has 300, or excuse me, he has a 903 stamina. And so let's go in here and see if he can handle getting attacked furthest. That way, maybe you guys can bring another DPS or healer instead of bringing a tank in the back. So let's get punching. That's pretty much it. Just trying to remind everybody to do as much as you can on the guild bosses because you have less time to do it. And this is basically like a free reset for everyone that doesn't cost reset points, because you know a lot of guilds missed reset points from killing guild bosses last week. So take this as just a freebie. Try to get, you know, as much down as you can. Try to make sure that your teammates and guildmates and whatnot are staying active. And yeah, so let's punch this boss, do a little DPS check. It would be nice if I had one more slot so I could test deity at the same time, but he'll get his moment to shine. All of my gold is actually locked up trying to roll runes, or not runes, chips. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of gold to be fusing any minions, and I kind of want to see if there's any more minion updates, or if/when we get the augments coming that you can gear up and itemize your minions, how that's going to play a role. I don't think that's really going to change which minion is better, because if minion A is better than minion B, then minion A with gear is probably going to be better than minion B with gear. But we'll see. We'll see if and when that happens. I think the devs are still focused on making sure Guild Boss is smooth and ready. I know they are working on Guild Boss 5, and we'll hear more about that as information becomes public. But this is a really good kind of measuring stick to see. You know, this is a 4-day week on Guild Boss. This is a good way to see if your guild should even consider, or when your guild should consider using the reset points. My advice has always been wait until your guild can clear Guild Boss 1 through 3 in 3 days, and then use the reset points, and then you'll have 4 more days. So you can clear it again in 3 days and have 1 day of wiggle room in case you know, something happens, somebody has to be MIA, you lose an important player, they're busy, etc., etc., etc. So not a big deal. All I'm doing here is I'm basically just using their high single target attacks, and I'm keeping 1 SP on full armor mech just to heal him up real quick. That plus a little bit of the heal pet procs, I think we should be good to go. So once you have a DPS or a healer minion that has at least 900 stamina, I do think that is the break point. So if you get that through having just total stats like I do, or if you get that through having a minion that has been upgraded, either way, 900 stamina seems to be plenty to take this. There is a new guild boss guide pick that just shows you what stats the guild bosses have, what bonuses they have, and what attacks they do. And then according to that, it also shows you what team is optimal for doing the guild bosses. So previously what I would do is I'd go search my channel, watch my old video, watch it on like 2 times speed, and just click to the guild boss and say, okay, the first guy attacks the front and the rear, the second guy attacks the front too, the third boss attacks the front and the rear, stuff like that. And then a guild boss 4 annihilates your entire team regardless. So, but instead of having to do that and search my own stuff, there is a pick made by Eagle. So it has been pinned in the Monsters channel in the Discord. So anybody can take a look at it. And quick peek, change your team, boom, no big deal. You get in there, you're fighting, you're happy. But not too bad. Not too bad. I kind of still like the recommendation I had, where I call it the whack-a-mole strategy. So the other option of the guild boss before guild boss reset came out, my recommendation was remove the guild boss reset and just make the bosses kind of like a whack-a-mole style. So as soon as your guild kills guild boss 1, it instantly respawns. And as soon as you can attack any guild boss at any time, so no damage is wasted. But you can reset the boss. So if your guild wants, you can just reset guild boss 1 constantly, or you can have different people working on different bosses. Maybe I do amazing damage against guild boss 1, but my damage is horrible against guild boss 3. You can kind of divide the players, but no loot or no damage would be wasted, and you wouldn't have to have the reset mechanic. And then it wouldn't matter what time the guild boss resets happen because there is no guild boss reset. But there's different ways. That would probably be difficult to balance. Super strong guilds could just clear guild boss 1 repeatedly until everybody has the body piece. So I understand, but I do think it would be a pretty interesting way to do things. But I'm pretty happy. I think in like a couple weeks or so, I think that the reset points will be rolling in. Everybody will like the system. Loot will start getting a little bit more generous, and things will be good there. And then, of course, always stay tuned to the announcements channel. There's a lot of updates as far as drops and materials. You're getting more materials back from destroying upgraded items. You're going to be finding 50% more materials in raids 6, 7, and 8. Raid loot boxes are coming, and word on the street is there's another little something that's going to make life a little bit sweeter for everybody, and that should be coming up soon. So like I said, stay tuned. When things become public, I'll tell everybody all about whatnot, but there's a lot of ideas floating around, and if you have good ideas and you want to be part of the conversation, put your well thought out suggestion in the suggestions channel. Keep in mind, keep those channels free from spam. And there is the enrage attack. They are considering putting some sort of like instant attack that wipes everybody to make this faster. I think they should just put up the "you've been defeated" message. I think that adding some sort of meteor could lead to a bug. I think it should just, as soon as enrage happens, boom, this little message drops down and then you're done. But I think if they add some sort of like meteor attack, what if the boss uses it at the wrong time? And then we have a week of guild bosses that have like a live bug that messes everybody up. What if instead of dropping the meteor that kills everybody, and when the boss hits 25 rounds, what if it accidentally drops on the first round? Then we have guild boss for an entire week that nobody can do. And that's kind of an extreme bug case, but stuff like that happens, man. And if the devs are spending time working on that, they're not working on something else. But anywho, let's take a look at the damage here. So, Swordsman, of course, always doing amazing. Final Mech is always beating Moonlight, and I don't understand why. We'll take a look at that before I wrap up the video. But Full Armor Mech, very strong representation. Keep in mind that he had to throw a handful of heals there. So I think it's worth bringing him. And I think he's like +3. I don't know. We'll take a look at minions because I'm very curious. Why would Final Mech beat Moonlight? And I'll tell you why. I'm curious. But let's take a look at our legendaries real quick. So, he's only +1. I was wrong. He was only +1. So a lot of room for improvement on him. And I could actually upgrade him now, but I keep using all my gold on my runes, and I just got some reflect runes, so that should be relatively fun. Deity is the one that is +3, but he keeps getting out damaged by Final Mech and Moonlight because they're +10. So the attack closest should be doing amazing damage, so I don't know. Maybe when I get some more upgrades. I think when he hits +5, he'll probably get his official spot and start replacing the other guys, but I don't know. Swordsman, always doing amazing. I've been using his attack closest because it's a high multiplier, 1 SP attack. I think using the attack closest 1 SP is better even when he has 2 SP, because I'd rather do oblique cut twice, because if you multiply this by 2, you'd be doing 206 and then 480, right? Which is better than doing this one. So even if he has a bunch of SP, if you're fighting a single enemy, I would still rather just do oblique cut a bunch of times than dumping it with this. Let's see what else. Let's go to the epics. And then I'm scratching my head a little bit. Why is Final Mech doing so much more than Moonlight. So let's take a look. They have the same stamina, and Final Mech has more speed, and Moonlight has more attack, but those speed plus attack should add up to be the same thing. They have the same triple damage bonus. I guess we got to look at the percents. And so looking down here, I think I've been making a mistake. No, maybe. It's pretty close. Usually when I have 2 SP, I'm using the 2 SP attack random because it's a high multiplier, but I'm wondering, should I be doing the 1 SP attack target instead? But if you multiply alloy bombing by 2, you're pretty close. They probably have about the same average. So you're pretty close to smoothbore cannon. So maybe it doesn't really matter there. I guess alloy bombing is slightly better, but it's within the margin. So it wouldn't really matter. But keep in mind, so remember this percentage, this 67 to 202. The reason why I think that Moonlight should be doing more is because when there's a single target enemy, I have been using the attack random. Oh, I think I know why. So obviously the attack random is going to do a lot better than the attack target. It's a higher multiplier. And I think their attack closest, the 0 SP, is the same exact thing. I think the problem is I've been gimping his damage because I'm using the 2 SP attack furthest, when the 1 SP attack random is a better choice. So maybe I've been actually gimping him by using this 2 SP, and I shouldn't be using that against a single target enemy. Because like with the other guys, if I multiply Waving Strike times 2, I'm going to be doing a lot more damage than if I use Hard Beating, which looks funny, but yeah. So maybe that's my fault. So I don't want to make the video too long, but I will definitely test it out and see if not using hard beating ever again is going to be better than, what I was previously doing. But anyways, that's probably long enough as always. I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me show you the damage that I've done so far. So I've attacked Guild Boss 3 twice. The first attack I did 318, 316, something like that. So there you go. Pretty consistent. I'm basically doing a little bit over 300k every time I fight this guy. I did not hit Guild Boss 2 this time. Didn't have a chance to swing on him. But if I look over at Guild Boss 1, I was doing just over 500k each time. So we're consistent. We are consistent. As always, appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.